Hello everyone, welcome to this very first introduction into HTML and writing web pages in HTML. So when you first click on that link, you should be taken to this editor here, and I want to give you just a very quick introduction to what the sections on the screen are. You'll be primarily working in this middle section here, which contains the HTML code for the page. Over here on the right hand side is a preview of your HTML code. So this is the contents of the web page, what it may actually look like. And over here on the left-hand side is the list of all the files that is in your website. So to kick things off, you can just take a quick look at the structure and the contents of the page here. You'll notice that as you click on different parts of the HTML code over here, you'll see that there are different highlights that come up on the right-hand side, and that's indicating which part of the page it's referring to. So I'm just going to start off by looking at line 6 here, which is Lala the doggy. And you can see there is some text there, Lala the doggy, and that matches with Lala the doggy up here as a heading. But you'll also notice that this piece of text is between these H1 things, okay? This H1 text that's in blue. And if you look closely, you'll see that the first H1 is different to the second one. The second one actually has a little slash, a little forward slash. So these bits of text that are between these angled brackets, these are called tags, HTML tags. Tags is a way of identifying the information that is inside or between the tags. So that's saying that Lala the doggy is a H1. And what is a H1? Well, the H1 stands for heading 1. So that's what makes Lala the doggy nice and big and bold and different to the remaining text down here. So for example, if you go into that first tag and you change the H1 to a H2, so I'm going to change the 1 to a 2, a couple of things you notice, the editor actually automatically updates the matching tag at the end there, so you don't have to change it in both places. But you'll also see that the heading has shrunk a little bit. It's gone from a H1 to a H2. H1 is the biggest heading, H2 is the second biggest one, and you can change this to a H3. You can see that goes a little bit smaller, H4, H5, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go back to H1 and bring it back nice and big. But that is the first thing that you'll notice around this line of HTML code. You got the tag and the contents beneath it. So let's take a look at these next 3 lines of HTML. And this has got a P around it. So you got the opening P tag and the closing P tag here. What do you reckon the P stands for? So as a HTML tag, the P stands for paragraph. And the way that paragraphs work is, if you look at the text between them, all about the best doggy in the world, as I highlight this particular paragraph tag, you can see the section highlighted here on the page. The thing with paragraph tags is that it inserts spaces before and after that piece of text. And same with the second one, same with the third one. So I'm just going to go into this first paragraph here, and I'm going to say, just going to add a little bit more text there. All about the best doggy in the world. She loves to drink milk. Okay, she loves to drink milk. As an extra piece of text there, you can see as I update the paragraph text, it updates over here. But let's say that I wanted to put she loves to drink milk on a new line. So I can go into my HTML code and press enter, and enter, and enter, and enter, and enter. So the thing to notice is that blank lines inside the HTML code do not translate over to the browser. So one way to inject new lines is to put it into a new paragraph. Okay, so if we want she loves to drink milk in a new line, I'm going to close off the paragraph for that line, and then I'm going to add a new paragraph here. Okay, so now we have this as 4 sentences on new lines. So I'm going to go back and delete that just so we have it the way it was before. So I want to show you, last of all, how the overall document is structured. We've gone through these tags over here, but you'll notice all of these are contained within another tag, which is called the body tag. And at this point, you'll see that you can have tags that are, so for instance, the H1 tag is inside another tag, the body tag. So this is called nesting. It's like having a nest of eggs and then you're putting another nest inside it. Okay, so you're putting things inside other things. That's called nesting, and you can nest tags. All of these 4 tags are nested inside a body tag. And what a body tag is in HTML is everything that's inside body tags will be shown on the page of the browser. And then going a step further, you'll see that the body tag is itself nested inside the HTML tags. And the HTML tags are used by the browser to indicate that this is a HTML page that is going to display as a web page. You'll probably know that browsers like Chrome can not just draw or display web pages, it can display PDF documents, it can just display images by itself, it can play sounds, right? So in this case, this is saying that it is a HTML web page. And then just one more thing to notice here with the tags is this head tag. And you'll notice that the head tag is nested inside the HTML tag, but the head tag is open and closed before the body tag is open and closed. So the head tag is not nested inside the body tag, it is nested inside the HTML tag. So you can think of these as siblings, right? So if HTML is like the parent, you've got the head tag and the body tag, they're kind of like siblings, brothers or sisters to each other. They're at the same level, but they are inside the same parent. And what the head tag does is whatever's inside the head tag won't necessarily be displayed on the screen, but it is still part of a HTML document. And in this case, the title tag, which is nested inside the head tag, this is indicating what the title of the tab will be when this page is drawn on the internet. Okay, so you can't see that here, but if I did a preview, so I'm going to click on this little preview button. So this will pop out as a new page. Okay, I'm going to just drag this down so you can see it, right? You can see that Lala the dog is inside the title tag, and anything that's inside the title tag will be popped up here in the title for the tab. Okay, and that's different to Lala the doggy, which is the H1 tag that's inside the body. One other thing to call out here is that the spaces that we've got in front of the tags here, they are ignored by the browser when it draws the page. Okay, so we've just put the spaces in there to make it a little bit more clear to see how the nesting works with the tags. You can delete all of the spaces between the tags, and you can see as I'm doing this on the right hand side, the page itself doesn't really change the formatting. Okay, this works exactly the same way, but it's not as easy to understand how the tags are laid out when it's all like this. Actually, you can even make it in one big long line if you like. Okay, you can put everything on one line if you like, and it doesn't matter to the browser. Okay, terrible to read, but it still works. Okay, so that's a very quick overview of how a HTML document is structured, different tags that you've got, and how the contents of the page is basically all contained between those tags.